Hello everyone again. So here we are in the next step, which is people already added something to the shopping cart, and now what we want them to do is click on the proceed to checkout. Okay, so let me just discuss about 5 or 6 things that are important at this point. I mean, many of you mentioned this, the promotion of the credit card of Zappos that was highly visible, and that, I mean, that is not very good in terms of user experience. What I want is to see my list of items, but on the other hand, that might be additional business for Zappos. So there is here a trade-off between, I mean, doing what the majority of users really want versus generating additional revenues. But the points that I wanted to comment are, like, number one is that the shopping cart should be multi-device. That means if I am adding something, for example, let's say that I am in a conversation with a friend and I grab my smartphone and there is something in Zappos that I like and I add it to my shopping cart. But I'm probably not going to close the sale or the purchase at that moment and with my mobile phone. So when I go back home and I'm quietly sitting in front of my computer, I should be able to see that item in my shopping cart. Okay, so the shopping cart should be multi-device, either it's a native mobile application or a website. So number two is allow changes in the order without the need of going back. So we don't want to lose, users at this point by changing the order or whatever. So they can do that from here, change the number of units or remove one item in the list or whatever. Number three, Daniel, you were talking about this concept of having the total cost, including the shipping costs and everything. So clarity and transparency is very important. Number four is the remarketing. And Ana Carolina, you made a very good point here. So if there is someone who has added something to the shopping cart, and for any reason they don't complete the purchase, and there are like many people that abandon at different stages. Now what we can do is we can put a pixel, a cookie, in the computer of that particular user, and then because we know, the user X is interested in article Y. Okay, so when that particular user goes, let's say, to their Gmail account or their Facebook or reading the news or whatever, they find a banner about that particular item. And this is what we call as remarketing. And this is very effective in completing the purchase, okay? Now, it's important not to overdo that because that might be like annoying, but you as an advertiser can program, okay, if this user sees this item for 3 times and they don't go back and complete the purchase, I'm not going to show it anymore. Okay, so remarketing might be very powerful, but don't overdo it. And then what I would question here at this point is showing like other recommended products. If they are complementary products, so then this might be good at this stage. But if they are alternative products, so for example, you have one type of trial running shoes in your shopping cart, and then they offer other type of trial running shoes, you generate a doubt that you don't want to generate at this point of the purchasing process. But if they have something like a trial running shoes in the shopping cart, and you include, a t-shirt or some complementary products, then it might make sense. You add it to the shopping cart, especially if they are low priced, okay? So those are some of the items. And now we are with 18 people. So if we assume that 40% of the people abandon here and 60% go and click in the proceed to checkout, we end up with 18 people. So let's continue with the purchasing process.